Are you happy? Thank you, my man. Good day. Hello and welcome, and also to everyone that might be joining us on the stream. We are very privileged today to have, well, in my opinion, one of the hardest working acts in electronic music in South Africa. Also, if you've ever been privileged enough to watch them on stage live, they have this energy that is indescribable. And to be able to sit down with Jules and Ben from Good Luck today is a huge honor. So thank you.
Thank you for having us. This is super exciting.
Big honor for us as well. It's wonderful to be here. It's great to be able to share some of the hard lessons that we've learnt over the many years we've been doing this. It's always better to upskill everyone as a broader spectrum. Yeah. Otherwise, you have just individuals that are kind of doing well. If the whole industry can be better, everyone does better.
Definitely.
That's the rule.
So funny you should touch on that very early, and I'm very glad you did, because essentially that was the entire plan behind this week. It was about trying to bring the industry back to the new people that are coming into the industry. I definitely wanted to inspire our students. That was a huge thing. And the other thing is also to, give you guys, and I say you guys, just everyone, a chance to actually just be out, be amongst people, and it's not a performance, but it's something. So it makes you feel a bit
connected,
better. Yeah, so that was the vibe. So thank you so much for availing yourselves. I know we had a bit of a scheduling issue yesterday.
Yeah,
but we
glad it all worked out.
We could make it happen, yeah. So I reckon let's approach this in two ways if we can. Like I've said to Jules, I was super impressed, and through lockdown and subsequent with the TikToks and the Instagram, and trying to make everyone in the industry feel connected, but also giving hope to the younger generation coming up, and also showing them that you can do things in yourself. It's not easy, we know that, but you can do it. So I guess let's maybe kick it off with.
Should we start with the beginning of the lockdown?
I mean, you want to just chat about what I was talking about in those little videos and where I was heading?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, what I've realized as an artist, because Good Luck's had this incredible journey of, like you said, quite an independent journey.
Yeah.
We've never really had we've had management in the sense of like bigger picture stuff, but we never really had hands-on management. We've done it all ourselves since day one.
We've tried a couple of times.
We have tried. We've tried with several managers. Maybe we're just really difficult to work with, or our expectations are really high. Probably that's the case. But the thing is, we've managed to make, I think, a sustainable career out of music, and only music, for 10 years. And, we've done pretty well. We've made some smart decisions, and we've made some not so smart decisions. We've burnt our fingers, we've learned lessons, but at the end of the day, we know what it takes and how it looks to make money in the music industry. And so that's kind of what those little videos were about, because I think one of the real difficult questions that everyone has when they go into this industry, and not just you, your aunties, your uncles, your parents, everyone's going like, you want to be in the music? Why? And how are you going to make money from it? Because they don't
Is this going to be your full-time job?
Yeah, they're like, we still get that question. It's great. But it is a stumbling block for a lot of people, because you've got this passion, you've got this creative flair, you want to do what you love every day, and that's a commitment in itself, and that's a beautiful thing. But you also have to answer that question, like, how at the end of the day am I going to pay my bills and put food on the table? So I really just wanted to start this series of videos, and I'm growing it into something. I actually want it to be a course,
like a module, yeah.
Like a module, like an online course that I eventually do put out to the world, and as a mentorship thing as well. We figured it out. We've cracked the Fibonacci code or sequence or whatever on how to actually, at the end of the day, write the checks and make sure that you get paid. So yeah, that's really what that's all about. Because the music industry and the music business is so detailed. There's a book you can buy called The Music Business. I think it's called.
And there's also the Dummies Guide. There's also the Dummies Guide to Music Business.
Yeah. And it spills over into all the various facets of the industry. But there's this book. It's like this thick. If you can get through that and read it cover to cover.
Do you think that you didn't read that book when you started?
I didn't read that book, no. I looked at it. I was like, wow, I should probably definitely read this book. I bought it, and then it sat there.
Okay, so if you didn't read the book, why are you telling them to read the book?
No, I'm not saying read the book. I'm just saying that's how detailed and complex the industry is. It's this thick book on just the music industry. And, there's a lot of information in there. So I wanted to
You want it to cut through the BS, basically, and go like, look, you can sit here and read this whole book and finish reading the book and think that you know how you're going to like make it in the music industry, or you can listen to Jules and she's going to tell you the actual like elements where you can go like, look, this is where you can actually make money.
Yeah.
You know?
And also, I guess,
not that it's just about making money. It's absolutely about creativity. But like, if you want this to be your career, then that's a decision where you're going like, well, I'm going to compromise my creativity at some point because this is my career. And if you're not understanding that that's what that means, then you're not making it your career, you're making it your art. They're very different things. Doesn't mean you can't make money from your art, it's just not your career.
Yeah.
Because when you get to a level where you have people who are dependent on you, you have employees, you have staff, you have a whole team around you, and you suddenly go like, well, artistically, I want to make death rap metal jazz. Well, now what you've done is you've compromised your entire team. So like, that's not a career, that's art. And you better hope that your team understands that that was the idea from the beginning.
Yeah. So really that's what it is. And also just we've learned so many lessons on, you know, the back end of the industry, the label side, the publishing side, the different channels, like where your money sits and comes from, because there's so many mysteries that no one wants to tell you about, you know.
There's so many channels.
And there's money being earned for your music everywhere, all over the show, and you don't even know that it's there, and you don't even know how to get it, you know, and like, no one's going to tell you.
No one's going to give you money that you're not going to ask for.
They actually don't want to pay you your money.
You know? Exactly. So that's the thing. We've learned how to find it. We've learned where it is and what to consider when you're making decisions on who's going to get it for you, because you know there's different ways of doing it. You can go independent, or you can sign a massive label deal and be on an artist deal.
And there are pros and cons to both of those.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on that point, let's talk about, because we've touched on this with Pascal and Pierce as well. I mean, you know, they were with UMG, obviously.
Yeah.
Released 4 songs over 4 years. Definitely not their vibe. They exited amicably, which is fine. And they've subsequently now got their own label, and they can release their own schedules, and they can release anyone's music, which is great. So your model, what is it that you guys have embraced? How are you looking at releasing?
Well, we've gone through the phase of being indie artists from the perspective of that we'd never signed an artist deal. So I don't know if you guys know about the difference between distro deals and artist deals? Show of hands, who knows the difference?
Artist deal, distribution deal.
So an artist deal is an all-encompassing deal where the record label is basically going to help you create the entire brand around what your creative endeavor is. So if you're Pascal and Pierce, they're going to help you come up with the name, they're going to help you with the logo, they're going to help you with the art, they're going to help you with music videos, they're going to help you with studio time, they're going to help you with the producing, they're going to be involved in every single process because they've invested in that process. So it's basically like an angel investor coming along and going like, listen, I want to be involved in what your project is. We see the value in what your creativity is, and we're going to invest in every element. A distribution deal is we recognize that you've made cool products. We recognize that you have a brand that has value in the marketplace, and we're going to help you to bring that product to market. So they're two very different things, and you get remunerated very differently based on those two deals. Traditionally, artist deals would give you 7 to 12% of your revenue, which is quite hectic. But bear in mind, they're taking a risk on paying for everything.
Well,
to a degree.
Let's talk about that. They say they're going to pay for everything. I think in South Africa, you know, if you're not Black Coffee or whatever, someone really top, you know, that's a priority artist that they know they're going to make money back on. I know so many artists that have signed, especially through like TV shows like Idols and The Voice and that kind of thing, where you've been locked into the contract before you've even made it to the finals. So they've gone through the process, been in these 5 to 10 year artist deals. And then when it comes down to, you know, cool guys, I'm ready to make my album, here's what I want to do, you know, can we pay for it? Here's my music video, can we pay for it? There's like, oh, we don't have budget. So, you know, there's an obligation on the label side.
An artist deal basically is not a guarantee that they're going to pay for everything that you think is important.
Yeah.
An artist deal is a far more collaborative process with that business partner, essentially. Yeah. Whereas a distribution deal is like, hey, you've made some cool stuff, we're going to help you get it to market.
And there's more creative freedom as well.
Yes.
Trying to create, it's a whole team effort we're trying to create where distribution is more like.
Yes, it's more like just channeling.
And if you're the kind of artist who really like is uncertain and you want to bounce ideas off people, you want to A&R heavily, and you want like involvement from other people who you think know more than you, then maybe an artist deal's for you, you know. But if
and bear in mind that
not,
like
then
the history of an artist deal is, although it's been bastardized over the years and there's been all these terrible stories, there are actually wonderful, wonderful stories. Red Hot Chili Peppers were destitute. They were like living on the streets, one step away from living on the streets. They had no money, and they signed an artist deal, and they got enough money to basically go into studio and record them. And like, you gotta understand, like that record label, whether we think that they're like bad people or not, they gave them that money.
Yeah.
They took the risk.
Yeah.
Like, how many of you would give someone like 200,000 Rand tomorrow? Would you give any of your classmates here 200,000 Rand and be like, yo, dude, quit your job, drop out of school, and let's record an album together? It's huge risk.
Well, maybe
like,
not drop out of school.
I mean, you're like, yeah, sure.
But from our side, we've been through, we've signed to a major label. We've always kept it quite independent. So we've done distribution deals with major label. We were signed to Sony for quite a long time.
We never needed to do an artist deal because we made our own music. We had our own studio. We had our own brand. We didn't need help the way that some artists misunderstand. Like, some artists are just creative beings. They can't think about the logistics and the administration and all the other elements that go into what this business is. Those are the kind of people who need artist deals. And you could look at it and go like, oh, sure, they're getting screwed over. But like, there are 15 other people working on their business with them.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not trying to defend artist deals. I don't really think they're relevant at all anymore.
Yeah. We've ended up on a distribution deal with a major where we were getting it was an 80-20 split their way. So we were getting 20% of our
Which
record.
at the time was a good deal.
Yeah, at the time it was a good deal, weirdly. We're now on a distribution deal. We're working with 2 labels. We've got some of our music, 3 actually. We've got some of our music with The Cartel in the UK, some of our music with In Grooves, who run by Electro Mode here in South Africa, and some of our music with the Orchard, direct deal with Orchard. And we've got
Through
our
own record label.
Our own label called Get Lucky Records. And they all split differently, but like the majority of, you know, we're now getting 70 to 80%.
It's basically 80-20 in our favor.
Coming our way.
So,
and
yeah.
to be honest, while we are fronting a lot of the costs and we're paying for a lot of our own promotion and our own everything, we kind of were doing that anyway with Sony. So, you know, it works out that it's just really you're just getting more money at the end of the day.
But I don't want to spend too much time on this because, like, you don't need a record label.
Yeah.
You can go and do your own distro deal with DistroKid or
Yeah.
what are the other ones?
CD Baby, TuneCore.
CD Baby,
I mean,
TuneCore, and you can release your music yourself and basically do as good a job as one of
Well,
the
also
distros would
let's not negate like Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Look, okay, SoundCloud is not what it was a couple of years ago, but they still are now. You can still earn off it, and it's another avenue and another streaming.
Absolutely.
And also, I mean, let's be honest, you can also, as an independent, even without a distribution deal, still put your own personal music through yourself on Spotify, Apple Music,
Yeah.
as long as you know how the
you
format
just
is.
need an aggregator.
Exactly.
which is a TuneCore or a
TuneCore or
DistroKid or CD Baby, and like and
Or the
all
Orchard,
of the
if you're
fees and
lucky.
funds are like, and the costs. You just Google it. It's all there. So there isn't, where you guys are sitting now in the landscape of entering the music industry like properly in whatever shape or form you may want to do that. The landscape is now such that nothing is hidden. Everything is a lot more
I'd love to tell you
transparent.
guys, I want to tell you who the artist is. He's a big artist in South Africa. He was signed in a distro deal with a UK distribution label. Like, it's like one click up from a TuneCore, you know? It's like they'll plug you onto playlists and that kind of thing, but they're not gonna like make a music video for you. So he was on a really good deal there. He released a few songs on this label. He had on any release, averaging out between 40 to 85 big playlists, 5 or 6 New Music Fridays in other territories. So like he was getting Japan, you know, Austria, like Netherlands, some other outside of South Africa, getting on some New Music Fridays through this independent. Things were starting to roll, people getting cited, signed a deal to Universal Music. It's just gone down the toilet. So he got no New Music Fridays, only South Africa. very few players